What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. This was supposed to be an out of the theater review of Plane that I just got back from the theaters and watched. Unfortunately, there was no quiet area anywhere around the theater that I went to kind of set up shop and just film my thoughts for like 4 or 5 minutes. All right, it was just all kind of crazy noise going on and everything. So I thought, yeah, let me just come through and do kind of an impromptu, quick review. Not gonna go through like my normal review setup and just talk about this movie. It was a good movie. You know, Gerard Butler, of course, does his thing. He's kind of like the Steven Seagal of his era. And anybody that grew up in the 80s and the 90s, they know exactly who Steven Seagal is. He's kind of like this guy that just shows up in these types of action films. Like if this film was made back in like the 80s, this would have been Steven Seagal in that particular moment, or Chuck Norris or someone like that, right? And then of course you got Michael Colter of Luke Cage fame. Pretty solid acting job by both of these guys. Very, very entertaining action film. And honestly, it's not some kind of a, groundbreaking action film. It's exactly what action films used to be, okay? Just straightforward plot, plenty of tension, bad guys you don't like, good guys you're rooting for, that kind of film. That's what this film is. It's great, okay? They need to make more films like this. And imagine if people went and flocked to the theaters and saw this kind of a film, okay? Where you got a machismo male, a man going out there, taking on bad guys, putting bullets in their heads, you know what I'm saying? Like doing his job. And I mean, he's not like this big super machismo guy. He kind of has that I guess Bruce Willis kind of every man approach to this thing, but nevertheless he's going out there and getting the job done. He's joined by Michael Colter for most of this film, and he's helping him out. I mean, the movies that guys always talk about, yeah, man, we need more movies like this. Why are they giving us all this woke crap? There's none of that in here, all right? Everybody should be going out to check this kind of a movie out, right? Because you get what you pay for, all right? If you keep paying for all of the woke crap, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get more woke crap. So go check out Plane. It's a solid action movie. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to say this is some sort of a, insane, crazy action film. It's not, okay? It's kind of like your garden variety action film, feet firmly on the ground, just getting the job done, going through all of its paces. That's what you expect from action films, okay? It's a plus when there's something extra to it, like a bit of comedy, right? Like if, let's say, Michael Colter was being played by a comedian, that could pull off the physical stunts and everything that he was doing. If you had that kind of an actor over there, I think that could have possibly elevated it, because there's not a lot of humor in this. There's not a lot of funny moments, all right? And I think this movie could have used some of that levity to just break the tension, right? This movie is tense from beginning to end, and you're kind of like sitting there gripping your seat cushions, and there's really nothing that kind of alleviates the tension along the way. There's not a whole lot of jokes. Like the audience that I sat and watched this movie with, they're kind of like, man, we ready to laugh. Like even things that weren't funny, they were kind of like, because you want to release that tension. That's part of the experience of going to movies. You go to those highs, lots of action, lots of tense moments, and then you just, you release it. It's kind of like a woosah. It feels so good. And then you get to laugh at something that's on the screen or whatever. But overall, yeah, I think it's a solid movie. Gerard Butler does a good acting job. The script is just, it's a solid script. Again, this is what we used to watch back in the day. This type of movie would get you through a slow Saturday afternoon. If you and your friends had nothing to do, it's like, oh man, let's throw on that old Plane movie. It's kind of plain, but at the same time, it's fun, and I think we need to go out and support these types of films 100%, because again, if you want to stop getting all the crap you're getting, you got to make sure that movies like this take off, blow up, and become great. And you know me about the beat 'em up, blow 'em up, shoot 'em up. I would say this didn't meet one of those categories. Not a whole lot of blowing up, and I expected that, especially when you got a downed plane in the middle of a jungle. You expect explosions. Not so much. But plenty of beat 'em up, and man, the shoot 'em up action definitely worth its price of admission. Okay, let's go ahead and check out some quick scores. Yeah, so there go my scores right there. I gave Direction a 7. The pacing is perfect, but again, they're not doing anything amazing. But the pacing is perfect, right? I think it's about 106-7 minutes, something like that. In and out. Perfect, okay? It doesn't overstay its welcome, and that's very, very important. You don't drag it on with a lot of superfluous nonsense, all right? Just get right to the action, get them in, get them out, everybody's a happy customer, okay? And then you got the script and the story. Script and story, 6.5. I thought it was just like a regular script, you know, maybe a little bit above average. I always say 6 is about an average for a film, and a little bit above average, a 6.5. I think that's where this film lies as far as its script and story. No jokes, right? And that's kind of the thing that was disappointing. No real jokes in this, not really funny, but it has some opportunities, and there were some moments where it could have been funny, and the script never kind of rose to that occasion. That would have made it even more enjoyable. But again, I still think it's fine. But it's just kind of, you know, straightforward, right? Acting, again, another just solid job by these guys. You know, straightforward acting. Nobody's like elevating the script and taking this thing to the next level. They're just doing their jobs, you know. I thought Gerard Butler, again, probably carried it better than most of these guys. You know, Michael Colter's, you know, he was fine. You got the guys back at the, you know, the airport briefing room where everybody's trying to figure out what to do and what's happening and how are we going to get out of this mess, you know. Some of that acting was just kind of like middling, you know, so I think that acting was fine, 6.5. Sights and sounds, like I said, plenty of bullets flying everywhere, and I thought that the special effects and how they handled it and how they kind of kept the tension going was really, really well done. I think that the way this thing was shot, you know, a lot of tension in every shot, no pun intended. I mean, there was a lot of shooting and a lot of tension in every shot of this movie. But yeah, once they get to the jungle, which happens about maybe 30 minutes into the film, once they get to the jungle, that's where this thing takes off and becomes a fun thrill ride. I suggest everybody go out and watch it. Like I said, you get what you pay for. You pay for types of movies like this, all right? You want more, you know, action films and less of this nonsense that we're getting? Hey, you need to go check out Plane. Yeah, I hadn't really checked out the Rotten Tomato scores. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, look, let me drag it over. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Oh, you know what? Let me move out of the way. I think I'm in the way. There we go. But yeah, you see that right there. 73% by the critics, an 83% audience score. It's a solid movie, okay? I think this thing, if people go and check it out, I think they'll be mostly pleased with the film. I don't think there's anything bad about this movie, honestly. Again, just maybe it could have been elevated more, okay? It could have been like raised up a couple of notches, but overall, solid movie. So this is where I would have Plane on the chart. Just added that, number 2 right now out of only 2 movies at 7.0. Let me just drag myself back to the middle there. So yeah, I think it's worth its price of admission. Again, not going to blow you away. And, you know, if you have nothing to do on an afternoon and you paying afternoon prices, definitely worth it, you know. All right, folks, but that'll do it for my quick little review of Plane. What did you think about this movie? If you saw it, go ahead, drop down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.